Slater Crusaders, happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome back to, a week where I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about Iran. We're going to dedicate the show to it today, definitely. I want to follow up on some points I made on Friday. 3 points in particular. First point, most people have no idea what they're talking about with Iran. They could not point to Iran on a map, and they've never heard of Qasem Soleimani. Here's a good meme found on the interwebs the other day. This is why I'm sort of in favor of literacy tests for voting. Don't get me wrong, nothing complicated, nothing, just a question like, tell me one thing about anything. It's like name a congressman, name a country. How many states are there? Just like basics, like really, really low bar. And still, I think we knock off 20% of voters. And with this simple meme, same thing. Just name the country. Just point to the country you're talking about. Okay, you want to talk about Iran? Point to Iran. Okay, if we did that, we'd knock off 90% of people commenting about this whole situation. Jesse Kelly wrote the other day, he said, stop listening to the people who are always wrong about everything. Similarly here, don't listen to people who have no idea what they're talking about. You know, you have AOC calling what Trump did a war crime, politicians calling this an assassination, all of them completely ignoring the hundreds of Americans that this guy's killed already, and the fact that he just ordered an attack on our embassy. All right, so put those folks under the same category as well. Do you remember just a couple weeks ago when the NBA got in trouble for cozying up to communist China, and reporters asked NBA players and coaches their thoughts about the Hong Kong protesters, and do you remember all the players and all the coaches played dumb? They're like, oh, geez, I don't really know. I haven't really thought much about it before. And honestly, I had a tough time criticizing that because even as clear-cut as that situation was, I don't really think anyone should look to NBA players and coaches for political insight. So I didn't really give him a hard time. But Steve Kerr in particular was very hesitant to say anything negative about China. But I'll tell you, when he's got a chance to say some bad things about America, he's sure got something to say. And he went spouting off the other day about us and Iran. Take all of those people with a grain of salt. Do the best you can to ignore them. So first thing, most people have no idea what they're talking about, which is why we have two experts joining us in this hour to give us their actual informed insight. Second thing we said on Friday, you can't trust the media with any of this. You can't trust the media with any of this. This is the New Yorker's first article about Soleimani. Check this out. Soleimani, a flamboyant former construction worker and bodybuilder with snowy white hair, a dapper beard, an arching salt and pepper eyebrow. What is this, 50 Shades of Grey? A dapper beard and arching salt and pepper eyebrow? What is wrong with you? You're laying it on a bit thick here, guys. You don't have to worship him. Just because he's dead, you don't have to write a glowing article just because Trump ordered him dead. Check that. This is Drew Holden from Resurgent and the DC Examiner. He did a side-by-side of headlines about the death of this guy who killed hundreds of Americans. And Don Imus, who passed away a week or so ago as well. So here's this Huffington Post one. Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani assassinated by U.S. in Baghdad airstrike. And you compare that with how the Huffington Post recorded Don Imus. Don Imus, racist radio show host, dead at 79. So again, Soleimani, the poor guy, assassinated by America in an airstrike. Unbelievable. But Don Imus, racist radio show host. Same thing, Washington Post. Airstrike at Baghdad airport kills Iran's most revered military leader. They revere this man. Compare that to Washington Post. Don Imus, talk show host who turned bad behavior into big ratings, dies at 79. They couldn't bring themselves to say one positive thing about Don Imus. Got a lot of Obama-era officials coming out calling this such a terrible move. Ben Rhodes in particular. Ben Rhodes was the Obama National Security Advisor. You remember it was a couple years ago. He said this to New York Times. He said, all these newspapers used to have foreign bureaus. Now they don't. They call us, the media, they call us to explain to them what's happening in Moscow and Cairo. Most of the outlets are reporting on world events from Washington. The average reporter we talk to is 27 years old, and their only reporting experience consists of being around political campaigns. That's a sea change. Here's the key line. They literally know nothing. Okay, so that's Obama's national security advisor just a couple of years ago saying that the media, most of them 27-year-old kids, they literally know nothing. They literally know nothing.